So this is a tutorial to talk a little bit about how to fill the shapes that you create in Illustrator. There's lots of different ways to do one thing in most of these programs. So I've opened up Illustrator. This is the menu bar along the top. So when I say menu, that's here. These are your windows, your property windows. If yours does not look like that, that's okay. You can go to Window, Workspace, and Essentials, and it'll pull up a window that looks, your windows will look a little similar to this. You can also change it here. So this is the workspace. This is the work area, only what is on the artboard. So think about the artboard as your sheet of paper. I'm holding down Command and minus sign to zoom in and out. I'm working on a Mac, so that your controls may be different if you're on a PC. So this is the workspace. Only what's going to be present on this white space will be printed. Nothing in the gray area will be printed. We're going to work with paths today because we're working with lines. The easiest way is to just use the pen tool. So the pen tool is the third tool down. If you just let your mouse hover over any one of these tools, it'll tell you what it is, and you can figure out how to use that. So the way the pen tool works is you single click to start the path, and you click again to create the next anchor for the path. When you're done, you can just hit escape, which should be on your keypad in the top left-hand corner. So this is just a path. With a path, it has just a stroke. So with Illustrator, shapes have either a path or stroke or both. If you want to create a shape, you can just use the rectangle tool. If you click and hold, the menu will open up and show you other tools to use. So you can create an ellipse. If you hold down Shift, it'll give you a perfect circle or a perfect square. So the stroke is the outside, that's the path. The fill is what's on the inside, and I'm going to change the color just to show you what the fill looks like. I'll do it here so you can see. When I click inside this box, it pulls up what's called the swatches. So these are your swatches. If you don't see what you like, you can double click and you can get another tool, which is the color picker. And since I'm sharing, it usually pops up someplace on another window. There it is. This is the color picker where you can select a color to fill. So in these boxes here and the very, very bottom, this is your color picker. You have one box for your fill and then another for your stroke, and they're independent. To toggle in between these, it also shows you the shortcut. So if I hit X, it goes back and forth between the two. So if I want to change the fill, it needs to be on top. If I want to change the stroke, I can change it on the bottom. So what's happening is when you have a path and you give it a fill, so when I select this, the color window also comes up. I'm going to close that and double click and use the color picker because I feel like it. So when I command plus sign and I zoom in, nothing's changing. And the reason why nothing changes because it doesn't have a fill. In order for it to be a fill, it has to be what's called a closed path. So a closed path, so here's my path. Here, yes, I have a fill, but there's no line connecting the beginning and end. So it has a fill, but it's going to be really challenging to work with. I do not recommend working with just open paths at all. It limits what you can do with your shapes. So do you see how when I bring this path and I close it and in there, what pops up is the word. Now I'm holding down this space bar so that I can move around without impacting. So when I hover over, it says anchor. As soon as I hover over there and I click, now this is a closed path. So I can change the fill how I see fit. So make sure you have it selected. And now you can change the fill. So as you're creating these and you have these lines, and another reason I want you to use this second box is that you can use the Pathfinder. See how when it aligns, it'll align along that space and anchor. So now with this, I'm going to drag that stroke into there and I have filled that space. And then I can go back and change it to have empty fill. That's what the white box with the red line means. I can repeat that here. Make sure I go all the way till it says intersect, find the anchor, find the anchor. So there's my straight line. I'm using the select tool here to move things. With the select tool, I can move things around. Now, here's my straight line. Here's my angled line. And now I'm going to make my bent line. And for my bent line, I'm going to hold down Shift to give me a straight line, single click, and go to where it says intersect and single click again. Okay. And that's my straight line. Let's talk a little bit about the curved line on Illustrator. There's a couple ways to do it. My favorite is to single click. I'm going to draw this area here because I know I want it to go along the line and I want it to be a closed path. If I click and drag, I can create a curve. If I click inside the anchor, undo, I didn't like that, so I undo to change the direction, and I move back. So now I can take these, holding down Shift, selecting each one, hold down Option. It's kind of hard with paths that are not filled. I'm going to hold down Option or Alt and Shift, so I move over in one direction. And now I can select two that are overlapping, Window, Pathfinder. Now the Pathfinder is really cool. What I want it to do is I want it to divide these into separate places. So I can select all of them at the same time and select divide. Now it's grouped them all together. So I'm just going to either ungroup here or go to the top, Object. I rarely use this one. So Object, Ungroup. So now I should be able to change each one of these. I'm going to just drag this black stroke into that area. Select this area. And change every other area to that. And now I'm finished. Okay.